Hey guys, so today I have a special video for you guys. This is my entire electronics collection, and by entire electronics collection I mean all my phones, all my tablets, all my laptops, basically everything that has a battery and is able to run an operating system is here. So I don't have my desktop computer and everything. I just stuff that has a battery that I can carry somewhere. It's sort of portable and that runs an operating system. They're all here. I got tablets, I got media players, I got laptops, UMPCs, netbooks, tablets, phones. Yeah, basically everything is here. So I'm just gonna do like a overview of this collection. I'm not gonna talk too long about each device because there's a lot. I actually don't know how many here. Probably over 100. I'm guessing. So yeah, I'm just going to go over briefly about each device that I have here, why I have it, why I was interested in it, when I got it, probably what year it was released as well. I think I can probably tell you that too. So yeah, stay tuned guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this special video because I think this is the first video where I have all my devices, not just phones in one video and laptops and netbooks and stuff in one video. I have them all together here. So yeah, let's just do a total overview of my entire electronics collection. Hope you guys enjoy it because this is a special video for you guys, and thanks for you guys for supporting me, subscribing to my channel. I know a lot of you guys like my electronics videos, so yeah, this is kind of like a video done just to thank you guys, right, for supporting my YouTube channel again after I had to start over from scratch and everything. And yeah, just go over my entire electronic collection. It took me a lot of time to lay all this out, but yeah, let's go over through each one and talk a bit about each one, and hope you guys enjoy it. So yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, so I actually decided to open up all these laptops and phones and stuff to their open position, and then as I go through each of them, I will close them up again. But hopefully you guys can see a little bit more on why some of them are so unique and special. So yeah, in general, let's take a look here. Yep, it's quite a bit. Yeah, you guys can just take a better look here, like this. Yeah, this collection, I think probably over 100, well over 100 actually. I'm not sure, maybe even 200 of them, but definitely I have a lot, as you guys can see. I have them sorted from the, generally speaking, I have the smallest devices at the bottom of my bed here, and towards the top of my bed are going to be the bigger devices like the laptops and such. Yeah, again. See this way. Yeah, and unfortunately my bedroom does not have a light, so I have to use a bunch of lamps. That's why it's so unevenly lit. So I'm sorry if the light on this side is stronger. It's just because I put a lamp on that side, and because my bedroom does not have a light in the middle of it. It actually doesn't even have a light, so I just had to light the whole room by lamps, unfortunately. So that's why it's so unevenly lit. But hopefully you guys can see it better like this. Yeah. Anyways. Yep, I'm going to go over each one, tell you a bit about each one, why I have it, why it's special about it to me, and yeah, maybe the year it was released in. I think I know kind of somewhat those kind of facts about each of these. So yeah, I'll just go over each one. I'm probably going to start over from the top right. Just going to start from the laptops, I guess, the biggest devices, and go down to the smallest devices. I think it could be more efficient that way. So yeah, I'm gonna start over on this side. Yeah, the top right, and then go like in a zigzag, like this, and like this, like in a snake pattern, zigzag pattern. I think that's probably the most efficient way to do it. But yeah, you guys get a good idea of just how many devices I have here. Quite a bit, right? Okay, let's start off from the top right. So all the way on the top right here, this is my MacBook Pro 16. This is actually my company laptop. So yeah, Have this laptop for work and only for work. That's all I do on it. It's from 2019. It's a Core M9 processor. And it's the last year that Apple made these processors before, well, they made released laptops with these processors before they switched to the M1 processor. So yeah, unfortunately, I just missed out on the M1. But yeah, at least it has a scissor switch keyboard, which is a lot better than Apple's old butterfly switches. So at least it has that. So yeah, at least the keyboard's good, but too bad it still has the touchpad, and I don't like the touch bar. Sorry, it still has a touch bar on top of it. I don't like the touch bar. And yeah, unfortunately, I missed out on the M1, but yeah, Core i9, not bad. Yeah, the MacBook Pro 16 is actually the first laptop to get these scissor style switches back. Apple realized it was a mistake for the butterfly switches, so they eventually changed all their laptops back to the scissor switches, but the MacBook Pro 16 was the very first one to get it. So yeah, fun fact. All right, so next laptop here is the Alienware M15 R5 Ryzen. So this is a gaming laptop. It's my primary gaming laptop, and it's been my primary gaming laptop since 2021 when I got it. So what's great about it, I really like the Alienware design. I like the cool Alienware head logo, the cool legend design with the UFO RGB lighting on the back. And fun fact is, and the reason why I got this laptop actually especially is because of the low profile mechanical Cherry MX switches. This, at the time of this laptop's release, Alienware was the only manufacturer that makes laptops to have these kind of switches. So now we have MSI. MSI with their Titan laptops have these mechanical switches too. But at the time in 2021 when I bought this laptop, this was the only laptop with a low profile mechanical keyboard. And yeah, I like mechanical keyboards. To have it on a laptop is amazing. These low profile Cherry MX switches are great. One of the main reasons I still keep this laptop. Still a great laptop, great design. Yeah, the solid performance and the mechanical keyboard, the low profile Cherry MX switches on the mechanical keyboard on a laptop. It's probably the best keyboard I've ever used on a laptop. So yeah, and that's saying a lot because I've used a lot of laptops. So yeah, great laptop with a great keyboard. So yeah, I still use it for gaming to this day. Okay, next one over here is the Asus ZenBook Duo. So as you guys can see, this is a duo screen laptop. That's one of the reasons actually the main reason why I have it. It's very, very unique. Only Asus makes these kind of laptops, have the dual screen. Actually, they make the ZenBook Pro Duo as well, which has dual OLED screens. But yeah, I got this back in 2021. It's the UX482 is the designation, but it's a ZenBook Duo. Yeah, you got a display on top, and then you got a nice display on the bottom, so you can multitask really easily. I usually use the second display for messaging purposes and things like that. So yeah, really, really cool laptop, very unique. Those are the type of things I like to have in my collection. So yeah, the Asus ZenBook Duo, very unique dual screen laptop. Also has a dedicated graphics card as well, so that's worth noting. I can play some games too. Next laptop is the HP Dragonfly Elite G3. This is the third generation of HP's Dragonfly Elite series. This is my main laptop actually. It's my main portable laptop, I should say. And yeah, I use it basically for everyday tasks, for browsing the internet and stuff. Why I like it is, first of all, it's built really well because it's an Elite book. And secondly, it's really light. It's about 2.4 pounds, and it has a 3.2 display. So the G3 adds a 3.2 display. Does not have the convertible form factor, the 180 degrees hinge that the first generation had, but I do like the 3.2 display, and keyboard's great, built really well, and super light. So just a great all-around laptop for doing just everyday stuff. And yeah, it's business class. I like business class laptops. They're just more durable and easy to find refurbished online. So I got this back in last year, 2023. Yep, still using it as my main portable laptop. All right, up next is the ThinkPad TP25 25th Anniversary Edition. This is a special laptop. Well, it's, as the name says, TP25 25th Anniversary. ThinkPad, what's special about it is the 7-row keyboard. As you guys can see, this is a unique feature of this laptop. Lenovo or ThinkPad stopped making these keyboards like back in, I think, around 2012 or so. They stopped making them. And then 2017, when this laptop came out, they made it just for this laptop, and they stopped making it again after that. So yeah, this is so far the latest laptop to have this keyboard, and only laptop to have this keyboard. That's a recent one, I guess. Well, 2017 is not that recent anymore, but at the time it came out, this was like a throwback laptop with this throwback keyboard. So that's what's special about it. Also, it's one of the last laptops to have Lenovo's or ThinkPad's Power Bridge feature, which allows you to hot swap batteries. So anyways, I have this for collection. Only a limited number were made. So they're not that easy to find. Pretty expensive when it came out, but still, it's nice to have a laptop like this. The keyboard's amazing, as you would expect. So yeah, great laptop, great keyboard. Okay, so this is the Panasonic CV7. This one came out originally in 2018. What's special about it is, well, it's a Panasonic Let's Note series laptop, which you normally cannot really find in North America. These are really sold in Japan and a few other Asian countries, but not really in North America. I like Panasonic laptops though. They're really cool design. You can see the circular touchpad is unique. They have a lot of ports. This one actually has 9 ports, including a Blu-ray drive. So they fit a Blu-ray drive onto this laptop and 8 other ports. And it's only 2.4 pounds. So, I mean, that's incredible what they fit into a size, a laptop of this size, right? It's like a 12-inch laptop and they fit all that in it. So pretty incredible, amazing. I got this in Japan actually for a pretty good price, secondhand. Yeah, good for collection, but also just a good business laptop. Very light, portable, and so many ports, and a Blu-ray drive. Pretty amazing. So that's a Panasonic CV7. Next up on this side over here is the Lenovo ThinkPad X240. It's actually my first ThinkPad I got back in 2013. Yeah, so this laptop's pretty old. I still have it. What was interesting about this generation is that Lenovo ThinkPad, they eliminated the buttons down here for the track point, which a lot of people didn't like, so they brought it back the next generation. But yeah, anyways, this is my first ThinkPad, and I still have this laptop. So pretty good keyboard, and it's a 12-incher as well, so it's pretty portable. Also has the Power Bridge feature. So yeah, still have this one. Okay, now this is a older ThinkPad. This is a X61, I believe, from 2007. The last ThinkPad made with a 4:3 aspect ratio display. And as you guys can see, also a 7-row keyboard as well. So yeah, this laptop is, yeah, it's a vintage ThinkPad essentially. And it's the last one they made with a 4:3 aspect ratio, and it runs Windows XP. So whenever I need to run Windows XP, I go back to this laptop. And yeah, keyboard's great. Yeah, just overall very high quality, durable laptop, as you would expect from a ThinkPad. So it's an old school ThinkPad. Gotta have one of those in my collection, right? Also has a latch lid. Pretty cool. All right, next is the Google Pixelbook from, when did I get this? Oh, this is from 2017 originally. Yeah, this was released in 2017 as kind of like a very expensive Chromebook. So it's kind of like a showcase for a Chromebook. And yeah, what I like about it is, well, it was cheap. When I got it back in 2020, it was already very cheap. So originally this came out in 2017, it was pretty expensive, but dropped down in price a lot after that. And now it's just a Chromebook essentially. So you can use it to surf the web, and that's pretty much it. But it's also got a 180-degree hinge, so you can actually flip it over into tablet mode as well. So that's another cool feature it has. But yeah, just a cool, very thin, very light laptop, and made by Google, which people might not know. Google made laptops at one point. Okay, next up is a very interesting laptop. This is the Onkyo DX. Yes, Onkyo, the receiver company, the company that makes speakers and home theater receivers, actually made a laptop. And I think this is the only one they made. It's very, very rare. It's a netbook that came out in 2010. As you guys can see, it's very unique because it has dual displays. The displays actually, they come out from each other. So yeah, it's a very unique design. I really don't see this much with any other laptop. I don't know why other laptop makers didn't try this this concept, because I think it's a very cool concept. But yeah, it's got dual displays that kind of like they just come out, they fold under each other. So it's really, really cool, unique. Too bad it's stuck in the netbook form factor though. It's not very powerful, and it's from 2010. But it's got a really cool, yeah, really cool concept here with the dual display. See, like that. Just folds in on itself like that. So yeah, very, very cool. So that's the Onkyo DX. Very rare. I think it's the only laptop that Onkyo ever made. Okay, Dell Latitude D600, I think. This laptop came out from 2003. Why I have it is, Well, I needed some laptop or some computer to run Windows 98 because there's some programs that only run on older versions of Windows. So I have this laptop as well as my main computer. I run Windows 98, 95 programs on. So yeah, that's pretty much why I have it. Also, you guys can see it's a 7-row keyboard, just like the old school ThinkPads do, because this is the old school Dell Latitude. So yeah, back then, as you expect, lots of ports from computers and laptops back then. But yeah, pretty much why I have it. 4:3 aspect ratio display too. Yep, because it's an old school laptop. But yeah, I have it to run Windows 98 stuff. Windows 9X programs, I think. Okay. Next up, the Porsche Design Book 1 from 2017. This is a unique laptop because it's the only laptop, still to this day, that's 180-degree convertible, so folds up like a yoga book. And it's hard detachable, which means that you can actually detach the tablet portion. Like this entire top portion can be detached and used as a tablet. And it can also fold 180 degrees, so it can basically turn into a tablet if you want it to, and it can also detach into a tablet too. So it's got this super hybrid form factor. Plus, it's made by Porsche Design. So people don't know that Porsche makes laptops. They actually do, and it's a very unique laptop on top of that. Very sleek design. So yeah, have this as part of my collection. See, Porsche Design, it's designed in Germany and everything. Very rare laptop as well, so it's good for collecting. Okay, over here is the MacBook Air M2. By the way, this is from 2017, the Porsche Design Book 1. And yeah, the MacBook Air M2, this is from 2022. It has an M2 processor. And yeah, this is my main MacBook. I mean, I have my work MacBook, but I only use that for work. But this is my personal MacBook that I use for video editing mainly. So yep, that's mainly really what I use it for, is has iMovie and stuff in iTunes. So I use it for video editing, sometimes to download stuff from iTunes. That's pretty much what I use it for. M2 processor is very fast. Yep, so that's the MacBook Air M2. All right, let's go down here. This is the iPad Pro 10.5 from 2017. Yeah, this is the iPad Pro I've been using for a very long time. I've used it since 2017. And the second generation iPad Pro, I have a Bridge keyboard attached to it, which I think is pretty nice. Bridge makes nice keyboards. Yeah, the reason why I still have it is because, well, it's the last iPad Pro that had the headphone jack. So after this generation, they took out two things actually. They took out the home button. This is the last one with the home button. It's also the last one with the headphone jack. So they took it out after this generation, and it still works fine. iPad Pro from 2017 still runs well, so no reason to change it, so or upgrade. So yeah, still have that one. And I guess I'll go down to here. This is the GPD Pocket 3 from, what year was it? 2022 or 2023? Yeah. Anyways, it's fairly recent, from within the last 2 years. This is like a modern day netbook. So GPD is a Chinese company. They make many unique looking computers and laptop designs. And yeah, this one is, well, it's pretty cool, right? It's like a mini laptop, but it's got a modern processor, so it's fairly fast. Compared to some of these older designs I have, yeah, this one is a relatively fast, like for a netbook style computer. It's got like a nice little touchpad up here, left and right click button, so you can use it when you're thumb typing or thumb surfing. And yeah, it's actually pretty nice as a mini laptop. I actually use this sometimes when I went traveling. And I remember I brought this and I used it at the airport, and some guy stopped me and asked me, what the heck is that? Some people were like looking at me when I was using this in the airport and stuff, and they were asking me, where'd you get this laptop? Super small and tiny. Anyways, I got this, yeah, maybe 2 years ago, 2022 or 2023. Yep, pretty cool, small little mini netbook form factor, and also it's convertible. Oh, I forgot to show that. Yeah, it's convertible, so you can swivel, move around the hinge, and then it lies down flat, so it turns into a tablet. So that's also pretty cool as well. That's an old school type of convertible form factor. The newer one is the 180-degree hinge, the yoga style, but the swivel form factor is the old school convertible style. All right, Open Pandora. This is from 2012 by, actually, this is sort of like an open source thing. It runs like Linux, and it has some gaming controls, as you guys can see, some analog stick, D-pad, face buttons. So it's actually meant for gaming, like retro gaming, but also it runs Linux full-blown Linux actually. So you have the keyboard here, and you can use it to just do whatever you can do with Linux, right? Which is, I guess, a lot of things. So yeah, you can use it, either use it as a Linux, small little Linux palm top computer, or you can use it for retro gaming, whatever you choose. But this is pretty unique when it came out back in 2012. There's technically a successor now, the Dragon Box Pirate, although I don't think how many of those like has actually been released. Probably not many. But anyways, very rare computer now. I actually had to go on a forum to get this off of someone. It wasn't like, I couldn't even find it on eBay. It's very rare. So anyways, pretty rare computer. I have another rare UMPC here. This is the Vulkan Flipstart from 2007. Vulkan is a company that was co-founded by Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, and this was a really small, like, handheld computer that that really could do a lot of things. It actually ran XP actually. So and it actually runs it fairly okay, because it actually has a Pentium M processor. So unlike some other UMPCs of the time, it's not running a VIA processor. It's not running like an Atom. It's running a Pentium M, which is quite capable, I guess, for the time. Really unique laptop, because, well, it's a UMPC, it's a first-gen UMPC, but look, it's got a touchpad, you got like a cursor control right here, like a track point, you got a specific button for Control-Alt-Delete, you got D-pad here, left and right mouse click buttons. I mean, some cool stuff, right? And this is 2007, right? So it's really nothing like it. Still nothing like this laptop. It's really cool, unique. And yeah, it even has a secondary display here. That's for displaying some Windows Sideshow stuff. And you can even put in a SIM card here. So if you're a business traveler, you can put in a SIM card. Really, really cool laptop. Very rare. I had to search on eBay for a long few years to find that one. All right, another rare laptop here, the Toshiba Libretto W100. The LGR actually covered this fairly recently on his channel, but another super rare laptop. This one I just got lucky to find on eBay, but this is like a dual touchscreen laptop, or netbook technically, since it has netbook internals, from 2010. So yeah, the Toshiba Libretto. Libretto is like a line of Toshiba laptops back in the day, which are basically like sub notebooks, very, very small portable computers. And yeah, this is like a special edition. It ran Windows 7, but like a custom skin of Windows 7. Really, really cool. But anyways, this side is to be a touchscreen. They're both touchscreens, but this bottom side, you have a dedicated button for going home and dedicated button for bringing up keyboard. And it's be a touchscreen keyboard, and you can actually adjust the styles of the touchscreen keyboard as well. You can have all these different styles of different touchscreen keyboards. So really, really cool computer. Yeah, only a few ever made. So very, very rare laptop, Libretto W700. Okay, I actually didn't talk about the laptops up here either. Let's go back up here. Okay, this is the Fujitsu U820, I think from 2009. Has an Atom processor in it, and yeah, also it's sort of like the GPT Pocket 3 over here, except this is from 2009, so it's way older. But yeah, it's like basically it's a really interesting netbook computer from Fujitsu's Lifebook series, and Fujitsu did some cool stuff back in the day. How you would use it is you have a cursor up here for your thumb. You have left and right click, function button. Actually, you have this is the arrow button right here to zoom in, I think. And left and right click over here. You would use it with your thumb, and you do thumb typing with it on the super small keyboard. Also, it's convertible. So just like the GPT Pocket 3, you can lie it down, turns into a tablet. This is a touchscreen, but not a multi-touchscreen. It's actually a resistive touchscreen. So you need to use you need to press hard on this one. Also, fingerprint sensor right here. Again, 2009. So this is back when that wasn't common in laptops. So yeah, very, very cool, super portable computer back then. All right, this is the King Jim Portabook from 2016. What's cool about it, as you guys can see, is the keyboard. It's using like an IBM Butterfly style keyboard, which is really rare to find, actually. I don't know why more laptops don't try it, but it's trying to fit a full-size keyboard into a compact form factor, essentially. So yeah, this is that's pretty cool. And King Jim, I think, is a word processing company. I don't know. This is the only laptop they made. They're Japan only. I just found this online and got it shipped from Japan. But yeah, very, very unique computer. Not very powerful. Runs like Intel Atom, I think. But very cool design with this butterfly keyboard. So you can like kind of split it like this, and then fold it like that. And then when you want to use the full-size keyboard, you just like, you know, turn that into a full-size keyboard. Really cool. All right, iPad Air, the original iPad Air from 2013. Why do I still have this if I have the iPad Pro? Well, I was stupid back then. I engraved my name on the back of this tablet, so that means I can never really sell it. Yeah, I don't know. I had to engrave my name on it because engraving was a cool thing to me back then, I guess. So because I engraved my name, I can't sell it. So I've had this for over 10 years. Anyways, iPad Air, the OG iPad Air 2013. Okay, here, Fujitsu UH900, also part of the Lifebook series. This is the successor to the U820. It looks pretty different though. Yeah, this is like a super mini netbook. It's like a shrunken down netbook, which were already shrunken down to begin with. Not very powerful, right? Had Intel Atom and stuff, but still really cool. Also very rare. Hard to find a computer like this. And yes, the screen is actually deteriorating because they didn't use very good chemicals, I guess, or whatever they used for the display back then didn't last very well, so it's deteriorating for the screen. But yeah, overall, very interesting computer for the time. Kind of competes with the Sony Vaio-P actually. Yeah, you just thumb type with everything. Everything's thumb. You use your thumb to type. You got a button up here for moving the mouse cursor, left and right click right there. Yeah, I can't close it actually because, yeah, the display. So anyways, that's from 2010. Okay, this is the Lenovo Legion Go from last year, 2023. It's a gaming handheld. Came out really to compete with the Steam Deck, and it's a bigger device than the Steam Deck. I think overall pretty good. Decent D-pad, controls, face buttons, even a touchpad here. What was special about it is that you can actually detach the controllers like with the Nintendo Switch, and one of them can actually be used as a mouse, like kind of like a mouse control. So that's pretty cool. It has a kickstand as well. So anyways, Lenovo Legion Go, have that. And I have the Steam Deck OLED, which came out last year. So Steam Deck came out 2022, OLED version came out last year. Yeah, it's the Steam Deck. I think for people into handheld gaming computers would know about the Steam Deck. It's pretty popular. Overall, really nice controls, nice feeling. They got these dual kind of touchpad things for controlling different games. That's kind of unique to the Steam Deck. And it runs SteamOS, which is, again, something kind of specific to the Steam Deck. So overall, really nice device, especially with the new OLED display. All right, so here's a Sony Vaio-P I was talking about. Came out 2009. This is a netbook, but it's a really nice looking netbook. It's a sub-sized netbook, like it's kind of like the Fujitsu UH900. It's just a even more shrunken down version of netbook, done in a Sony style. Sony Vaio computers always looked really cool. Premium looking computers, right? Use this track point to navigate. Had a pretty high resolution display for the time, I think, like 800p. And yeah, like overall just looks really like nice and premium. So yeah, this is a cool, nice luxury fashion looking netbook, I guess. 2009. All right, down here, Samsung Q1 from 2007 is one of the first generation UMPCs. So this is kind of like a tablet. Yeah, this is the resistive touchscreen tablet, fingerprint sensor. You can use your move the mouse cursor here, and a D-pad here, and a left and right clicker actually over here. And you got a split keyboard, so pretty unique design. Not many other computers, maybe the PepperPad used it as well, but really not many other computers use that design. But yeah, very interesting, just a collector's thing, right? I think this ran an Intel Core Solo, so I guess that was a good processor for the time. So yeah, 2007, you have this unique piece of history, I guess. Part of the first gen UMPCs. Aya Neo Air Pro. This is from 2022, I think. This is just another gaming handheld. It has an OLED display, which is pretty nice. Pretty good controls and a nice D-pad. And it's from the Chinese company Aya Neo, who makes a lot of gaming handhelds. This one's not particularly powerful. It's not as powerful as the Steam Deck or the Legion Go. I really only use it to play indie games. So this is really kind of my indie gaming handheld. The Razer Edge. I should clarify. There was another Razer Edge released originally in 2013, and that was actually one of the first gaming, like PC gaming handhelds, way before the Steam Deck. It's like 10 years before the Steam Deck. That didn't do very well, but Razer released another handheld called the Razer Edge, which is this one, which is an Android gaming tablet. So it's pretty different from the first Razer Edge. I've had both, actually. I had the original one as well before. But yeah, this one is just a really powerful gaming tablet. I use it to play mostly emulators, like, yeah, retro games and stuff with it. But it's got pretty good speakers. The Razer Kishi controllers that it comes with is pretty good as well. So overall, nice controllers, nice screen, nice OLED display, nice speakers, and wasn't that expensive actually. It was discounted heavily because I guess it didn't really take off, unfortunately. Oh yeah, this came out like last year, 2023. All right, this is a fairly recent device as well. I think it came out also late last year, 2023, the GPD Win Mini. This is essentially a souped up version of the GPD Win 2, one of their older devices, except yeah, they just updated it, made it more powerful, made the controllers better. So they got analogs, nice analog stick, D-pad. These are all from the GPD Win 4 actually. Touchpad right here. So this essentially is a nice middle ground gaming handheld that can really do anything. You can actually, you know, run your regular Windows programs and surf on websites and stuff using the QWERTY keyboard, or you can play games using the gaming controllers on top. So really you have the choice to use this as a regular laptop or a gaming handheld. So it really does both of those things. So yeah, it's one of these devices that kind of does it all. So GPD Win Mini from last year. Sony Vaio UX, one of the first gen UMPCs. This is from 2006, I think. Really, really cool design. It's got a slide up keyboard like this. Very tiny, like these keys are very tiny, hard to press, but it's a very cool design. It's still like a very interesting design to this day. It's super portable and tiny. It's actually incredible that Sony made this back in 2006. That's almost 20 years ago. Crazy, right? That they made a computer like this. It's super portable. So yeah, you can imagine like when it came out, it got a lot of attention. Very expensive when it came out. Not a lot of people bought it, but it was probably one of the best UMPCs of that time. Out of the first gen UMPCs, I think the Sony Vaio UX was one of the best. And the Vulkan Flip Start was pretty good too. But fingerprint sensor up here for 2006, that was pretty ahead of its time. Left and right click here, and cursor control, mouse controller here. Even buttons for zooming in. Yeah, it was pretty cool having a slide up keyboard. And this is the 007 limited edition, right? Because that's the one that James Bond used in Casino Royale, that movie. And even had a built-in modem. I think you can get with an optional modem, which is cool as well. So yeah, and a removable battery. Yeah, it has a lot of cool stuff on that one. Okay, Okio Model 2, which is actually similar form factor to the Sony Vaio UX. This came out a year later, 2007. Not quite as powerful as this Vaio UX. I mean, this one ran like a Core Solo processor, but this one ran like a VIA C7M, which is not as powerful. But I do like the layout of the Okio Model 2. So this is a cursor here, left and right click here, but it's actually fairly comfortable for something of this form factor, right? Like you don't see this form factor very often, and I think Okio did pretty well. Okio is like a startup company that's since gone bankrupt, but this is a very interesting historical curiosity, right? Part of the first wave of UMPC devices released back in the day from 2007, and also in a slide up form factor, just like with the Sony Vaio UX. Also, this came with a nice docking station with HDMI, believe it or not. See that? Full-size HDMI back in 2007. That was ahead of its time. Okay, let's move on to the next row here. Arco 7. This is a Linux tablet from 2008. And Arcos is a French company. I don't think they're really much in business anymore, but they used to make a lot of interesting portable media handhelds back in the day where you can watch movies and stuff. It really supported a lot of formats back then. So yeah, the Arco 7 is really cool though because it does run Linux and has a 320 gigabyte hard drive, believe it or not. So this thing has a removable battery too. This thing, like, it stores just tons and tons of movies and videos. So yeah, 320 gigs, that's a lot, even by today's standards. Yeah, but back then it actually has a rotating hard drive to store a whole bunch of movies and videos. So pretty cool. Next up is, this one is the Scion 5MX. Yeah, this is not really working well anymore, but there we go. get it open here. Yeah, it runs on AA batteries, I think. Yeah, this is probably the only one here that runs on AA batteries. Yeah, this keyboard is actually pretty good. So good, in fact, that the company Planet Computers, which is a startup phone company, still makes phones with these kind of keyboards because a lot of people have good memories of using Scion keyboards. And it's a resistive touchscreen. You have to use a stylus. But yeah, this thing was a palm top computer. It lasted pretty long, I guess, on the batteries, and you can always replace the batteries. And I know a lot of people like their Scion palm tops. So this is the 5MX series. Pretty good handheld PC from back then. Another handheld PC is the HP Jornada 720. So by the way, this is from 1999, I think. Yeah, 1999. This is from 2002, 2001, 2002. Yeah, around that era. But yeah, also another handheld PC, another type of palm top computer. But, well, it doesn't run Palm OS, it runs Windows CE 2.1. So it's a handheld PC, decent keyboard for what it was. And yeah, pretty much just like the Scion, but this one ran Windows CE. Scion runs its own proprietary operating system. But yeah, this one, Windows CE is like embedded version of Windows back then. Very limited, but a lot of people actually made like third-party programs and stuff that ran on it. So you can, now there was a whole world back then. It was like basically the App Store before the App Store, you know. People made a whole bunch of apps for Palm OS and Windows CE and Pocket PC back then. Yeah, so that's HP Jornada 720. Yep, Windows powered. Okay, next one is a Sharp Zorus from 2004. Also, this runs full Linux, and it's a very small little handheld where you can, basically it's like a PDA. So it's a personal digital assistant. That's what PDAs were back then. You can go calendar, address, mail, home menu. Basically like a smartphone before a smartphone back then. Can't make phone calls, but yeah, had a bunch of apps and stuff. Yeah, this one ran full Linux, I think. Well, not full Linux, just a version of Linux that ran on this machine. Also, it's convertible, so come on, there we go. You can convert into a tablet form factor. Yep, and use a stylus, of course, because this was before multi-touch. So anyways, Sharp Zorus from 2004. And very similarly, we have the Sony Clie UX 50, also from 2004. Pretty similar to the Zorus, except this runs Palm OS. Yeah, the keyboard's not quite as good as the Zorus, but still pretty cool, right? You got a scroll wheel, cute little scroll wheel here. Dedicated buttons for internet and mail, calendar. Yeah, just got that Sony look to it, right? You got a little scrollable webcam here that can face you and also face in the other direction to take pictures. Also convertible, so just like the Zorus, you can fold it down. And I have to use a stylus to use that touchscreen. But yeah, oh no, very cute little device. Yeah, even has like a little holder here for a lanyard. Yeah, and that takes in, of course, memory duo. So Sony had memory stick duos back then. Also in 2004, so Sony Clie UX50. Okay, Sharp NetWalker. Yeah, this is the Sharp NetWalker. It runs Linux. It's a distribution of Linux. Forget which one, but it runs Linux. And again, this is one of those netbook type computers. I think this one actually ran on an ARM processor. So these days, you see like newer laptops come out running like Snapdragon and stuff. Well, yeah, this was in 2009, so way before then. This was one of the first laptops that was running an ARM processor back then. Pretty cool. It's got an optical track point nub right here, moving your mouse cursor and left and right click right there. Very, very cool handheld. Again, very rare to find. I think I somehow lucked out to find this one on eBay too. Very light. Next one is the Sony Tablet P from 2011. This is the dual screen tablet that runs Android 3.1 Honeycomb. It's a custom version of Android, actually. Yeah, well, what's special about it is it's a dual screen tablet from 2011. So, so that's pretty cool. I used this like an alarm clock back in the day, I think, because it was actually pretty good at displaying that. It had, you know, it basically was its own kickstand and everything. So yeah, pretty cool device back in the day by Sony. Not many people remember it, but pretty cool device. Dual screen tablet from 2011, Sony Tablet P. Okay, this is the GPD Win 4 with a similar form factor to the Sony Vaio UX. It was inspired by the Sony Vaio UX. Yeah, actually the GPD Win 3 and 4, I should say. Yeah, so this is a pretty good gaming handheld. It's actually one of my favorites. So pretty nice controls, right? D-pad, face buttons, analog sticks, all nice. Got a fingerprint sensor, track point nub for navigation, similar to the Sharp Netwalker. This keyboard is a lot better than the one that was on the GPD Win 3. So the GPD Win 3 had this touchscreen keyboard, which wasn't good, with haptic feedback. This one's an actual like keyboard that will press in. Not a great keyboard, not better. I mean, it's not that good, but still much better than the GPD Win 3. So yeah, and overall it's fairly powerful. It can actually keep up with the Steam Deck. So for a device that's much smaller than the Steam Deck. On top of that, it's got like a QWERTY keyboard, right? So yeah, it's actually one of my favorite gaming handhelds. And this came out last year, 2023, I think. So, all right. Next up is the NVIDIA Shield Portable from 2013. Previously, I think one of the best handhelds for playing retro style emulators and games from back then. I mean, this thing's just a beast. First of all, it had the NVIDIA Tegra processor, and was really good at running just Android games. So you guys can think of this like before the Razer Edge, Razer Phone, before that came out. This was one of the best devices for playing Android games and retro emulators. It's got really good controls, actually. I don't know why NVIDIA didn't make more of these. They only made one of these, and they made the tablet, which wasn't the same thing. But yeah, like the NVIDIA Shield right now is just kind of like it's like an Android box, like an Android TV box, right? But I don't know why NVIDIA didn't make more of these. This is a great device. Even to this day, these are great feeling controllers and everything. Yeah, it's too bad NVIDIA didn't make more of these. Because this was great for playing retro games, Android games and stuff. Yeah, 2013. From 2007, there's the HTC Advantage 7500. It's a Windows mobile phone. Yes, believe it or not, it's a phone. Yeah, so it's not just a tablet, it's actually a phone, but it has a QWERTY keyboard. See, there's even dedicated buttons for calling people and hang up on them. But yeah, very, very interesting device. It's got like a little cursor here for moving around your mouse and Windows buttons. Yeah, this is running Windows Mobile, so it's like it's like an embedded version of Windows, right? So yeah, it's interesting. You got a full QWERTY keyboard, so you can use it like a mini laptop, but also one that can call people. So pretty interesting. Yeah, and of course, right, HTC. I miss HTC. Yeah, micro PC. So GPD micro PC from 2019. So this one is a really cool device because it has a ton of ports. It's super light and portable, first of all, and it's got a ton of ports, SD card slot, USB, back here. A ton of ports back here, including a serial port. It's pretty cool. From device from 2019 to have a serial port, right? But yeah, touchpad, left and right click. Actually, surprisingly pretty good for playing DOS games. I think this and the Vulkan Flipstart are the best for playing retro DOS games, in my opinion, because of the layout. But yeah, really, really cool device from 2019. And yeah, really unique. I don't think that anyone else has made a competitor really to it. Maybe the netbook A1, but it's not really not the same. Okay, down here, let's talk about the Cassiopeia B300. Believe it or not, it was my very first PDA back in the day. Technically, it didn't really run like Windows CE. It ran like a customized version, like called BOS. But still, I really like this thing. I play games on it. One day, it just suddenly crashed and died, unfortunately. I think I was trying to install this other operating system called Xpod on it, and it just died on me, and I bricked it, unfortunately, and it died. But I used this actually a lot back in the day. Yes, I was one of the cool kids in my class who used a PDA when I was in like grade 8. I know that's kind of silly, but yeah, I was in like grade 8 or grade 9, high school when I was using this. Man, yeah, Windows powered, but it's actually customized Windows CE. But yeah, the Cassiopeia B300 from 2003. I have good memories with that. This is the Samsung Galaxy Fold 4. So it's a phone that folds into a tablet, unfolds into a tablet, I should say. So, anyways, the culmination of many years of R&D. You have to get this folding display working. So props to the engineers at Samsung, because they're one of the few that can do it. I mean, the other ones are what, OnePlus, Huawei, now the Google Pixel Fold as well, I guess. But Samsung was the first to do it, the first to bring us a phone with a folding display. Well, actually, Royal FlexPi was the first, but anyways, Samsung was the first to really do it really well, kind of. And yeah, it's a phone that unfolds into a tablet. So just a really cool use case. I think it's actually a common use case because if you're watching videos or scrolling web pages, it's better to have that bigger screen. So that's cool. Okay, so that was from 2023, I believe. No, 2022, right? The Galaxy Fold 4. I think it's 2022 actually. And then 2020 we have LG Wing. This is one of the last phones that LG made before the mobile division shut down, unfortunately. But the LG Wing is really cool because it does have this swivel display. It's very unique because it has this. I use this not only for I not only have this for my collection because it is a good collectible. It's one of LG's last phones, and it's a really unique phone at that. But it's not only collectible, but I actually used it for watching movies and stuff a lot because it actually does have a micro SD card slot, which makes it really nice for watching movies. And instead of like turning my phone right to watch the landscape video, I just flip out the display to watch it, and then people can look at me when I'm holding my cool phone. So it's another benefit as well. Cyberco Extreme from 2002. I had the original Cyberco back in 2001. I think when I was in grade 7. Played a lot of cool games on it. This never got really popular, so unfortunately the company really didn't go anywhere. But it was really cool back in the day actually because they had a lot of exclusive games made for it. Just a black and white display, but they had a lot of exclusive games that were actually fun to play for me when I was in middle school. So anyways, the Cyberco Extreme is the iteration of the Cyberco. So they only made 2 versions, the original one and the Extreme version. Fortunately, I can't get the Extreme one working, but it was a cool gaming handheld for the time. Okay, next we have, this is a pretty recent one I got, was the Amazon Paperwhite Signature that I just got this year. So it's a pretty recent tablet, but it's an ebook reader, and has a really cool display because it really just looks like this, right? It just looks like it's drawn on the display, but it's actually an e-ink display. So it's an e-ink display, even though the display looks like static, but it's actually an e-ink display. So really, really cool. Good for reading books, obviously, but also for reading comics as well. So it's my main e-reader book, my main e-reader device. Okay. Next up is a BlackBerry Passport Silver Edition from 2015. Yeah, one of BlackBerry's more interesting phones. They made it in the shape of a passport. Have a good keyboard for a BlackBerry phone. This ran BlackBerry OS, which was a proprietary operating system for them. And yeah, overall, this is part of my collection. It's just a unique looking phone, unique form factor. I mean, you don't see many phones that have the shape of a passport. But yeah, square form factor and really unique device. One of BlackBerry's, I think this was actually BlackBerry's one of their last devices running BlackBerry OS before they switched to Android. All right, HP iPAQ 210. What's special about this one? This came out in 2008. And this was one of the very last devices to run Windows Mobile. That's not Windows Mobile, Windows Classic. Yeah, there was a difference because Windows Mobile was only for phones and Windows Classic was for PDAs. So this is one of the very last devices to run Windows Classic. That's the embedded Windows operating system only for PDAs and stuff, not for phones. Anyways, pretty cool device because the iPAQ was a long-running line of PDAs. This is one of the very last iPAQs actually. Because HP eventually decided to just buy, I think, they decided to buy Palm, yeah, and then they created some phones off of that. But this is one of their very last iPAQs, so yeah, from 2008. And this is an HP phone, so funny, we see from, that was the iPAQ, this is the last HP phone, I think. It's actually one of the last Windows phones. This is the HP Elite X3 from 2016. Yep, one of the very last Windows Phone devices. And what's really cool about this one is that it came with a docking station and some accessories where you can actually dock it into the docking station, and it turns into, using this Windows Continuum software, it actually becomes a desktop computer. So this is like one of those phones you can actually dock into a station and it becomes your desktop computer. It's really, really cool. So yeah, really good device actually. It's just too bad that Windows Phone didn't work out because this was actually a really cool device. So I think this was the last HP phone too, the HP Elite X3. Next we have a more modern phone here. This is the FX Tech Pro 1X from this year. Yeah, this is this is an iteration of the FX Tech Pro 1, which they're a startup company from the UK. They came out with this basically this keyboard, sliding keyboard mechanism, which is similar to the Nokia E7, which you guys will see in a bit. Yeah, this is it's a physical keyboard phone basically. What's cool about this one is that you can use it just as a normal phone. When you need that QWERTY keyboard, then that's when you can kind of slide it out. So yeah, the Pro 1X really is just an iteration on that. It looks pretty much the same as the Pro 1, which originally came out in 2019. So yeah, overall, it's just cool to have a physical keyboard phone in today's times, right? This is like a modern phone that has the physical keyboard, like a flip out physical keyboard. So it's just cool to have that. But yeah, startup company. I don't know how many of these they made. I think people are still waiting for theirs. It took me 3 years to get this one. Okay, this is another company from the UK, another startup that makes physical keyboard phones, and this is the Planet Computers Cosmo Communicator from 2020. They've actually made a newer one, the Astro Slide, and I had the Astro Slide before, but I actually prefer the Cosmo Communicator because it's a little bit more unique looking. Has a secondary external display here. So yeah, this is for notifications and stuff, like a smartwatch thing, and then you can open it up and it's like a Nokia communicator type of feeling. And it has a Scion keyboard, so they got the designer of the same Scion keyboard that you guys saw there, the same designer to make this this keyboard here. So it's actually a really nice keyboard. However, this is really not meant to be used as a phone. I mean, it could be used as a phone, but I mean, yeah, this is really kind of like a throwback to those handheld PCs back in the day. So you just put this on a desk and that's how you would use it. And it runs Linux, so you can dual boot into Android or Linux, which by the way, for the FX Tech Pro 1X, I can dual boot into Ubuntu Touch as well. So I'm actually running Ubuntu Touch on this one. But this one is actually I'm dual booting into Debian Linux. So this one actually runs full-blown Linux. Pretty cool. So yeah, let's close that. Okay, the Kowon Q5W from 2008. This is from the Korean company Kowon, which made a lot of media players back in the day. I think the reason I have this is because it just plays a lot of different files and stuff. It runs a full-blown version of Linux, I think. So yeah. You can just play pretty much any file on there. Just install like your typical Linux video playing software and it'll work. So I think I still have this one, yeah, just as a kind of a cool piece that I can play a lot of different files. I think it's pretty similar to my Arco 7 actually, except this is a little bit smaller than the Arco 7. Okay, new Nintendo 3DS from 2015 is Nintendo's last iteration of the 3DS. They added this little extra controller up here. Yeah, the extra little nub right here for controlling a second camera. But yeah, cool about this one is they improved the 3D tracking as well. So it's done really well. So I don't think people appreciate the 3DS, like how they got the 3D thing working. Like 3D is just kind of a gimmick, right, to many people, but the 3DS lets you have glasses-free 3D. And the fact of the matter is, you can just dial it in at any time. I find it just kind of amazing. You don't need glasses. Like back in the day when 3D was a fad, right? You needed glasses to view 3D. This one, you don't need glasses. Glasses-free 3D. You can view it at any angle. That's just kind of incredible technology that I don't think people appreciate. So anyways, yeah, 3DS. It's a gaming console, gaming handheld by Nintendo. This is the last iteration from them before they came out with the Switch. So anyways, new Nintendo 3DS. Dual screens, of course. That's what the 3DS is about too. But in 3D, with glasses-free 3D. That's a pretty cool piece of technology, man. And that's a Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate version. All right, this is the iMake Jazz Jar, also known as the HTC Universal. Came out 2005, I think. So yeah, this is a phone, believe it or not, runs Windows Mobile. You got like a little navigator here, cursor thing, and a little webcam. Yeah, you can like take calls, decline calls on here. You have a QWERTY keyboard. I think this is also convertible as well. So, yep, there it goes. You can fold it down into like a tablet version, or actually use this more like a Palm Pilot. Yeah, if you don't need the keyboard, you can use it as a Palm Pilot. But yeah, interesting, neat device I have in the collection. Okay, so this is the Ambernic RG35XX SP. This is essentially a Chinese handheld gaming company. They make a lot of retro gaming handhelds, and this one is specifically meant to emulate or trying to be like the Game Boy Advance SP. So it's the same form factor as the Game Boy Advance SP. So it's got the clamshell design, and yeah, overall I like the interface of this one. The gaming controls are pretty solid, I think, as well. So Ambernick makes a lot of good gaming handhelds. And yeah, this one's just done in a Game Boy Advance SP form factor, which is pretty cool. And I got this, I think this came out earlier this year or late last year, but pretty recent. So anyways, yeah, this is the Ambernick RG35XX SP. Okay, Zip It Z2 Messenger. This came out in 2007. It's kind of like a messenger handheld, which was a thing back then. There was like the T-Mobile Sidekick and a few others. Like messenger handhelds were a thing back then. So yeah, you can use it just to text people. And that's really all it was for. It was just for texting people. And I think it ran some version of Linux too. So people actually hacked it to do a bunch of things. But anyways, now it's just a kind of collector's thing. It's made by this company called Zip It. So really cool, just for collection, I guess. To have like just a dedicated messenger device. You know, for MSN, AIM, ICQ, Yahoo Messenger, that kind of thing back then. Sony PS Vita Slim, which I got in 2014. Yeah, this is well, it's the PS Vita, which is Sony's last gaming handheld still. And it's unfortunate that it didn't do very well because it was actually quite capable. There's a lot of good games for this device, like indie games and JRPGs and stuff like that, visual novels. So I actually used the Vita quite a bit. I actually played it more than my 3DS, to be honest, until the Switch came out. Yeah, it's a pretty decent controls, but the first iteration actually had an OLED display. This one doesn't. It's a slim version. However, this one does charge with micro USB, which is better than the proprietary charger the first one had. And it's slimmer, so this is another thing. Anyways, yeah, Sony's last gaming handheld. Okay, more stuff here. So this is the Palm Trio 650P or something from 2007. I want to say 2006, 2007. Yeah, this is one of Palm's first phone devices. They made like a few different phone devices back then. So they were, you know, Palm is a PDA company that make Palm Pilots, and then when smartphones became a thing, they decided to make smartphones, and that's where the Trio series comes in. Yeah, it's like basically this is what an old school smartphone looked like. If you want to show someone, hey, what does smartphones look like before the iPhone came out, this is what it looks like. It's basically like one of these like bunch of QWERTY keyboard things here you can use to text people, hey, physical keyboards, and yeah, and you have an operating system like Palm OS, sometimes Symbian running, and yeah, some expansion ports, removable battery. So that's what the norm was back then. Yeah, 2006, I think. Oh, this is the Nokia 3250 from 2005. Yeah, so this is unique because Nokia made a lot of unique looking phones back then, but this one, because it's twistable, so you can actually twist this. So this is a numpad, right? You can use it to make calls and stuff, obviously, but then if you want to use it like phone camcorder, you can use it like this, something that the Nokia N93 would later do. And also this twistable form factor you'll see on the Express Music 5700 as well, where you can twist it and play music here, right? This one, yeah, you can use it to play music and record. Actually, no, it's not for playing music. This is just for recording. I was thinking of the 5700 Express Music. That one has a twistable thing too. That one's just for playing music. Yep, this one is for recording, taking pictures with the camera. Anyways, pretty cool device with that. Sony P990, Sony Ericsson P990, I think, from 2006. What's cool about this one? Well, it's got a numpad here you can use to make calls. And you flip it open, it's got a QWERTY keyboard with really small keys. Yeah, and it ran Symbian, I think. I think it ran Symbian. And yeah, it has this little camera right here at the back. Anyways, I think I have it just because of this cool little flip out keyboard thing. It's from 2006 or something. Oh, what's this? Toshiba Portage G910 or something? Yeah, so G610 and G910 or something like that. Anyways, yeah, Toshiba made phones. So, yeah, this is actually a phone, and pretty similar to the iMate Jazz Jar that we saw It's got a QWERTY keyboard, ran like Windows Mobile, I think. And yeah, it's just like pretty similar to the iMate Jazz Jar. Yeah, you got like a little navigation interface here, take a call, decline a call, and you can open it up for additional things you can do with the Windows Mobile with the QWERTY keyboard. So anyways, pretty cool device. I think this was also 2006, 2007. This is Nokia E71. I think this was 2006. You guys can tell this is a pretty unique phone, right? So you got your typical like numpad here for calling, but then you flip it open like this, and bam, you got like a split keyboard here. Yeah, split QWERTY keyboard. So, and it ran Symbian, of course, because it's Nokia. So, anyways, pretty cool device. Very unique. Nokia made a lot of unique devices. Sony Xperia 514 from 2022. Yeah, this was my main secondary phone for a while until I accidentally killed it because I didn't know there was some crack in it, and I took it into the pool in the water because it's supposed to be IP68 water resistant, and it died on me because apparently there's some crack in it. I didn't know about it, and water came in and the phone died. So that's unfortunate. Rest in peace. It was a good phone. This one is the Amazon Fire Phone, I believe. Yep, Amazon Fire Phone from 2014. And well, what's cool about this one is, first of all, Amazon made a phone. And second of all, it has all these cameras here to track your eye movement so that you can actually scroll the page just by tilting it. Like just by tilting the screen, you can kind of scroll the page, which is really cool. I think that's a cool feature. Like a lot of people called it a gimmick, but hey, it's a cool, unique feature. Just by it's like yeah, you just tilt the phone down to scroll the web page, and you can tilt it up to scroll it back up. I mean, that's really cool. This is a Hibi RS6. It's a DAP, a digital audio player. I got this in 2022. Yeah, so this is for audiophiles, basically, for people who are willing to spend a lot of money to make their music sound arguably better. So this one has a really good DAC inside of it, an R2R DAC actually. And yeah, you got this dedicated volume adjustment wheel, dedicated buttons for play, pause, previous, and next. You got a whole bunch of output jacks here for balanced output, unbalanced. So it's in an SD card slot, of course. So yeah, it runs Android 9 actually, but it's really just meant for listening to music. And there's a lot of digital audio players actually out there that are pretty expensive. Yeah, this one actually costs over $1,000, believe it or not. But it has a really good DAC inside of it and a really good amp. So, yep. Anyways, I'm audiophile. That's why I do that. Okay, Philips PMC from 2006. I know that because it has Windows XP Media Center button here. Yeah, Windows XP Media Center. So this was part of the Media Center initiative, I think. So this ran Portable Media Center, which was, well, it was kind of like an operating system that really synced with Windows XP Media Center Edition. And yeah, like that's really how you play your songs and everything like that. It's really a PMP, a media player that synced with Windows XP. And it was a bit restrictive, to be honest. The Portable Media Center stuff was a bit restrictive, but yeah, you can definitely play your WMVs and stuff. WMAs, WMVs, remember those? And this one is really cool because it has a AV out and an AV in, which means you can actually record stuff from the TV. Yeah, you can actually record from your TV using this thing, which is something that the Arcos did as well. Forgot to mention, the Arcos, what's special about these devices is that they can also record from the TV using a DVR docking connector. So you can actually hook up some component cables and or composite cables, and you can actually record from the TV, which is actually really cool. It records directly onto the device. Okay, next is my new Sony Xperia phone to replace my dead one. This is Sony Xperia 5.5. So pretty similar. I mean, not too different actually. It looks pretty similar. The only difference is that this has a newer generation processor and a better camera, slightly better camera. Yeah, that's really it. Otherwise, it's pretty similar to my Sony Xperia that I had before. I just like Sony Xperias. I mean, they still have a headphone jack, still got micro SD, they got stereo speakers, good battery life, dedicated camera shutter button. Pretty cool features for a modern smartphone. Another Sony Xperia, this is Sony Xperia XA2. Why I have this one, this was from 2018. By the way, this is a 2023 phone, the Xperia 5.5. Yeah, XA2 is from 2018 originally, but the reason why I have this one is because I wanted to run Sailfish. Sailfish is an operating system made by Yola. That's a company made by former like Nokia developers that used to make the Symbian operating system and Migo operating system, Mamo. They made Sailfish, and this was one of the devices at the time that can run a customized version of Sailfish called Sailfish X, and ran on the Xperia XA2. So I thought, no, this is cool. I'll just get this phone just for having this unique operating system. You can look at that in my other videos. I have one covering the Sailfish X. So that's just for that operating system. This is my current primary phone. This is the Asus Zenfone 10. This is my everyday phone. I like it. It's really nice, portable, small. It's probably the best small phone out there right now. Very, very, I don't like big phones, and I don't like phones that are too wide. So I like this as a perfect form factor for me to hold in one hand. And a decent camera. Overall, I think Asus makes some pretty underrated phones, just like Sony. Not many people talk about Asus Zen phones, but yeah, Zenfone 10 is pretty nice, and it came out last year, 2023. Essential phone. This is from company Essential, which is a startup co-founded by Android developer, or the head of Android, I should say, Andy Rubin. He only made this one device. Essential only made this one device, unfortunately. But that's also why it's a collector's item. It's unique. First of all, the feeling of this device is really nice. It feels really solid. It's got a titanium frame. It's got a ceramic back. So really premium feeling. Also, it's one of the first phones to have this kind of notch. Yeah, nowadays you see the notch everywhere, but yeah, the Essential phone was one of the first to have a notch. A near bezel-less display, no headphone jack. It's one of the first phones to get on that trend, thanks Apple. And yeah, overall really nice and beautiful looking color too, gold and green. So yeah, it actually runs Lineage OS. I put Lineage OS on this, so you can still use it. It's from 2017, by the way. And BlackBerry Key 2 from 2018. This is the very last BlackBerry branded phone. It's not made by BlackBerry, it's made by TCL, but whatever. It's the last BlackBerry branded phone. It was a good phone, actually. It's a huge improvement over the Key 1. I really like this over the Key 1. A lot of BlackBerry fans still like this one. That's why Unihertz came out with the Titan Slim. But yeah, nice keyboard, nice display and everything. It's just, well, people didn't give BlackBerry a chance. That's it. Camera wasn't that good, but otherwise, I do like this phone. It's just that people never gave BlackBerry a chance, so it died. iPhone 12 mini from 2020. Well, this is the only iPhone I got, and I like it because it's so small. I like small phones. Did you guys notice? I told, like, Asus Zenfone. Anyways, yeah, I like small phones. And the iPhone mini is really, it's a nice small phone. It's got top-notch cameras. Still, like, it runs as well as the regular full-size iPhone, and unfortunately the iPhone mini does not sell well, so they discontinued it. But still, I really like the iPhone mini, and this blue color is really nice too. So yeah, this is my only iPhone here in this collection, but the iPhone mini 12, that's still one of my favorites. Okay, BlackBerry Porsche design P9981 from 2010, I think. 2011, actually. I think it's from 2011. Yeah, because this is based on the BlackBerry Bold 9800. I think that was from 2010, and then this came out in 2011. It's Porsche Design's kind of redesign of it. Yeah, they basically just made a really cool design of the BlackBerry Bold 9800. So it's Porsche Design's particular take on it. Again, for those of you guys who don't know, that Porsche Design actually, yeah, they co-brand with different laptops and phones and stuff, in case you guys didn't know. They still make phones with Huawei now. But yeah, this is a rebrand of a BlackBerry 9800 with a different design, basically a limited edition thing. It was expensive, but it's a collector's piece. So it's 9981 right there. This is the Nokia N810. It's from 2008. It's actually not a phone. It's more like a tablet, but it really was advertised as an internet appliance, like a web browsing device. Because you got to remember, back in 2008, web browsers on phones weren't very good. So even on the iPhones back then, yeah, the iPhone 3G or whatever, the web browser wasn't very good back then. And when this phone, sorry, not a phone, when this device came out, it was considered to have one of the best web browsers on the market. It ran with Mamo, which is a I think a custom version of Linux. And yeah, had a pretty good web browser for the time. Full QWERTY keyboard, navigation buttons right here. You had to use a stylus to operate the touchscreen. But yeah, even had kickstand here. So you can kind of prop it up and yeah, just browse web, watch movies and stuff on it. It was actually pretty capable at the time. So 2008, you got to remember, web browsers weren't very good back then. So they had a dedicated device for like an internet tablet for just for browsing the web. Same thing with this one. This is Sony Milo 2, also from 2008. Similar concept, really. It was meant for, you can use this for messaging friends, for browsing the web. It was not a phone, but more like like an internet browsing device. So similar to the Nokia. And yeah, it does look like the PSP Go, but yeah, I guess Sony kind of reused sort of the form factor there. But yeah, it's pretty forgotten nowadays. People forget that Sony made this kind of device, but the Milo 2, it was kind of like a web messenger device / internet browsing device. Could also play media files. It was just like kind of did everything except for being a phone, actually. QWERTY keyboard, you got the navigational keys, little joystick here for navigation. Yep, pretty similar to the N810 actually. Came out same year too. All right, Palm TX from 2005, the Palm Pilot. It was actually one of the last Palm Pilots before Palm went into the Trio series. But yeah, this is a dedicated PDA before Palm went into the phone business and started making Trios and stuff. Yeah, ran, I think, Palm OS 5.4, which is considered like a later version of Palm OS. Yeah, Palm really was the company that made PDAs kind of a thing back in the late 90s. So yeah, this being one of the very last Palm Pilots that they made. So pretty cool. It wasn't too expensive or anything. You can pick these up pretty cheap used. But yeah, it's from 2005. Unihertz Titan Pocket. This is really meant to duplicate like a BlackBerry Classic. But this phone, I think, came out in 2022. So pretty recently by a Chinese company, Unihertz. They're one of the few companies nowadays making physical keyboard phones. In fact, they're the only company making the BlackBerry style keyboards on their phones. Yeah, they have several different devices copying BlackBerry. But yeah, this is the Pocket version, which is more like a BlackBerry Classic. Still usable. And it's interesting. It's not like that powerful or anything. I would never use it as a primary phone, but the keys are okay. They're not exactly the Key 2, but still, the keys aren't bad. Yeah, it's what you expect. If you're like a BlackBerry fan, I think Unihertz is the only option really that you can get, except unless you want to go for the Clicks keyboard, which to me is not. Yeah, I'm not sure how usable that is, but Unihertz Pocket is pretty good. Nokia N-Gage. This is a pretty ahead of its time device, actually. Yes, it's got its flaws, and the QD version actually fixed a bunch of those. But yeah, this was one of the very first mobile phones that actually was focused on gaming. So you got exclusive games for the N-Gage that you could play. And of course, it's also a phone, right? And you got like a D-pad controller here. You can call and hang up. But yeah, it's a phone that was also a gaming handheld. And Nokia was one of the very first companies to realize that, gaming on a phone is going to be a thing. So you can consider this the predecessor to all those mobile gaming phones that we have nowadays. I mean, most phones can be playing mobile games nowadays, but yeah, Nokia N-Gage really ahead of its time. It didn't work out very well because I think it was just too ahead of its time. This is another Anbernic device. This is the RG40 XXV. So this is one of their newest devices. I have it because it's got a pretty nice display, 4-inch display. So it's bigger than the other Anbernic I have. Nice D-pad controllers. It's got an analog stick. Yeah, it's just a bigger device that has more controllers and a better display. So anyways, I have a lot of different handhelds for playing retro games, right? I have this one, the NVIDIA Shield, the Razer Edge, Anbernic. I have another Anbernic over there. This one, the SP one. I mean, I have a lot of different devices for playing retro games. This is probably one of the best ones though. The form factor is nice. And the interface is nice and the controls are nice. So, and the display is pretty good too, although it's not exactly OLED like the Razer Edge is. Yeah, the Razer Edge I think is the best spec-wise. Right? It's the most powerful, it's got the best display, it's got the best speakers, but if I wanted to really have that retro feel, then Anbernic RG40 XXV. All right, I guess let's just finish off with this last row here. Oh man, it's a lot of stuff. This is the LG Nexus 5 from 2013. By the way, I forgot to mention some of the years here. The N-Gage is from 2004. This is pretty new. This is from this year, 2024. And this is from 2013. This runs Ubuntu Touch, actually. I got Ubuntu Touch running on this. But yeah, like the Nexus used to be Google's line of phones before they made the Pixel. They contracted it out to different companies like LG and HTC to make them. But yeah, they're basically like Google phones before the Pixel came out. So this one runs Ubuntu Touch. This is the BlackBerry Torch 2 from 2010. Yeah, 2010, I think. Yeah, it's runs BlackBerry OS, and it's a BlackBerry slider phone. So I guess that's what's special about it, is that it's a BlackBerry, but it's also a slider. So you have your BlackBerry keyboard here. So anyways, otherwise it's like a BlackBerry Bold. Motorola V60, I think, and it's got the swivel out cover. It's from 2002, so it's a pretty old phone here. But yeah, you got numpad here, you got the circular kind of display, which is pretty unique. And you got this rotating cover, which Motorola would later have on their Aura. But the Aura is kind of like a luxury device. It's really hard to get. So yeah, I have the V60, which is, I guess, sort of similar to that. Anyways, pretty cool form factor. Razr 2 from Motorola Razr 2 from 2008. I got the gold and black version with a kind of like this is sort of like a leather backing. So this is kind of like a luxury version. But yeah, Razr 2, this is the successor to the popular Razr V3. This came out in 2007. So yeah, what can I say? This is a skinnier form factor than the original Razr phone. And I actually do like the Razr 2 better, but of course it didn't get as much attention because the first Razr was the one that really turned heads. I mean, like with the unique type of this etched numpad here. That's really cool. Very, very thin. Yeah, it's basically like a fashion item, right? Like a luxury fashion item, just like the first Razr was. So anyways, as far as flip phones are considered, this is like one of the most iconic and most luxurious, fashionable looking flip phones of the time from 2008. Razr 2, yeah. Not talked about as much as the Razr V3, but I like it better. And yeah, you got the external display as well, of course. I got some smartwatches here. So this is the Apple Watch Series 3. It's from 2017. Series 3, I think, still works well, but it's not like a, obviously Apple has had many newer Apple Watches, which is adding a lot more features. But as far as the basic features are concerned, if you're just, measuring your fitness and stuff like that, you're sleeping, yeah, the Apple Watch Series 3 is still okay. And I didn't feel a need to upgrade this one because I don't really use Apple Watches. I don't really use iPhones, sorry. Yeah, I don't really use iPhones, so I don't really need to upgrade this. It's just for a collection thing. Yeah, it runs watchOS. That's Apple's version of their Apple's version of iOS for the watch. So anyways, I have this mainly for collection. That's why it's kind of an old one. Motorola Moto 360 third generation. This is from 2020. It's actually not made by Motorola. It's just licensing their name to a Chinese company, I think. But anyways, I actually like this. It runs Android Wear, and even though it's a few years old now, it still does a lot of things. So yeah, it runs Android Wear and can do a lot with Android Wear. I really do like the fact that it has this crown, so you kind of like rotate the crown to kind of rotate the to navigate through the menu in Wear OS. So that's a pretty cool feature. Some of the newer Android Wear watches, they don't have this feature, so I like to have this crown that you can rotate and also press. So this one is a little bit more tactile compared to a lot of the modern smartwatches. Yeah, some of the other more modern Wear watches from Fossil and Garmin, yeah, they're too focused on fitness. This one isn't just focused on fitness, right? I tried the newer Garmin watches, it's just too focused on fitness. And fitness is important, but I mean the newer smartwatches are just like Fitbit clones. Yeah, I want to do more than just that. Okay, this is a PSP Go from 2005. It's actually really ahead of its time because this was digital only. So this is at a time when everyone was using physical discs, right? Everyone was using physical media, and the Sony PSP was using UMDs, which are their version of physical media. And the Go version is digital only. And nowadays we see a lot of, we see like modern gaming handhelds and modern gaming consoles be digital only. But the PSP Go from 2005 was like 20 years ahead of its time, man. I mean, yeah, it's a PSP, but it's digital only. So that's pretty cool. It's got this small, cute little analog stick there. But yeah, it's a slide up as well. And oh, overall, yeah, I think this is a pretty interesting device from a historical perspective. One of the first digital-only gaming handhelds. Yeah. And okay, we have actually two Motorola Razr Folds here. I have the original Motorola Razr Fold from 2019. So this is a reimagining of the Razr. So this was Razr, right? This is a reimagining of the Razr V3, but with a flexible OLED display. So yeah, this one it's a folding display. It's actually one of the first handhelds with a folding OLED display. This one in the Galaxy Fold. So yeah, this came out before the Samsung Flip. So yeah, what can I say? This is I got this because it's a really nice retro look with modern features, right? So basically, Motorola reimagined the V3 with with a modern OLED flexible display. So I find that really, really cool. So I have this, and then recently, this from 2019, and then recently I got the 2020 version. And the reason why I got this one is because the 2019 version is Verizon eSIM locked. So if I want to use it outside the US, then I have to get one that's unlocked. I can also use physical SIM on this one. So yeah, I got the 2020 version. This one, pretty much the difference is that this one has a glass back instead of the texture back. Honestly, I like the first iteration a little bit better. It looks more like a Razr, like the old school vintage V3 Razr compared to this one. But this one's still okay. I mean, the secondary display is nice. You can do a lot with it. They moved the touch sensor to the back, fingerprint sensor. Sorry, move the fingerprint sensor to the back. And yeah, you can do pretty much everything on this secondary display here. So there's a lot you can do on this display, but you can also open it up, right? So yeah, anyways, this is the Motorola Razr 5G is what it's called. So, all right. So yeah, both of the Razr Folds here. And then some other smartwatches, the Pebble Time Steel from 2015. Pebble is like a pioneering smartwatch company. They are responsible for making smartwatches popular, actually, and then they kind of died off, unfortunately. Yeah, they were big for a little bit, and then they died off. But I do like the Time Steel. It's got a really cool looking design, and really the interface was cool too. This was in color and everything too. And it had a long battery life, like 7 days battery life. But it's unfortunate that Pebble, yeah, they're kind of like the victim of their own success, I guess. They created all these competitors and then they couldn't compete against them. It's kind of sad. But anyways, I still have Pebble Time Steel. I backed this on Kickstarter. This is the Kickstarter version. And then I have the Fossil Abacus, which is the OG smartwatch from 2003. Yes, this is a smartwatch from 2003, and it ran Palm OS. So yeah, believe it or not, a smartwatch from 2003, and it's running Palm OS, and it was like a PDA watch from back in the day. Just really cool from a collector's standpoint. So yeah, people don't know that Fossil actually made something like this back then. That's a really innovative thing. It's really ahead of its time. So yeah, a smartwatch from 2003. This is the Samsung Z Flip 3 from 2022, I want to say. Yeah, 2022 or 2021. But yeah, this is the Z Flip. This is basically Samsung's answer to the Motorola's, except it's more popular, of course, than Motorola is because it's Samsung. So Samsung always does better marketing and stuff. But yeah, it's not quite as good. I mean, this display is just too small. It's only good for reading notifications, like from a smartwatch or something like that. So that's really what it's good for. The camera, yes, is better than the Razr, but overall, I think people just get this because it's like nifty looking, it's cute looking, right? But a lot of girls like have this phone, I find. But I know it's cute looking. It looks like a makeup mirror or something like that. But I really don't like this display. I prefer the Razr display a lot more. This secondary display is a lot more usable to me than the smaller display that's on the Z Flip 3. Yeah. But anyways, that's my preference, right? I prefer the Razr over the Z Flip 3. And the Razr also, it's a lot cheaper to find because not many people like it. Not many people get it. It's just not as popular. Because Motorola just isn't as popular of a brand as Samsung is, right? Anyways, yeah, I have the Z Flip 3 from I think 2021 or 2022 is when it was released. Then I have the Microsoft Zune HD. This is the last version of the Zune before it got discontinued. It's from 2010, I think. And it ran Metro interface, which is kind of like a predecessor to Windows 8 and Windows Phone. So yeah, it's really the interface that was on the Zune would later go on to influence Windows 8 and Windows Phone. But overall, this is a pretty nice device. Just it couldn't compete with the iPod because the iPod was just so popular back in the day. So there's no chance it can compete with Apple back then. But hey, Microsoft did a good job, I think, trying to compete. But anyways, the Zune. Yeah, I gotta have one in my collection. I have the Nokia N95. Pretty nice phone when it came out back in 2007. This was a really nice phone, like back then. So the N95, this is the 8 GB version. But yeah, you had your standard Nokia controls here, ran Symbian, of course. You got your numpad here, but also you can also get the media controls here. So it's a dual slider. So you can also play media controls here, and you got the Zeiss lens, which is one of the best camera lenses back in the day. Like for a camera phone, this was one of the best camera phones to have back in 2007 with a 5 megapixel Carl Zeiss lens. Yeah, pretty good, and dedicated shutter button and everything. Yeah, this was a good phone back when it came out. It actually really beat the iPhone, the original iPhone when it came out. The original iPhone was lacking in a lot of areas. So N90, I always wanted the N95 back then, and I couldn't afford it. This is the Samsung Exclaim. I think this is 2007 or 8. Anyways, what makes this device cool is that you have the standard numpad here when you slide it up, but then you can slide it up this way too for a QWERTY keyboard too. So it's a interesting slider, right? It slides two ways, numpad and QWERTY keyboard. So anyways, that's just a cool thing. I know the Pantech Helios had it as well, but the Samsung Exclaim also had it. Nokia N900 from 2009, I think, ran Maemo, the same operating system as the N810, except this one is kind of like, yeah, it has a lot of the features of the N810, except it's also a phone. So it's got the QWERTY keyboard, right? You got the slide-up QWERTY keyboard, and I think this was generally considered a good phone back then. So yeah, it was just overall considered a pretty nice phone, the N900, and I think many people still, like, it has its fans, basically, a lot of fans still that like to use it now. So it's a dedicated camera shutter button, pretty nice. It's got the Zeiss lens, right? Anyways, N900, that's a nice phone when it came out, nice slider phone. This is the LG M Touch from I think 2009 or 2010, kind of like a Nokia communicator style. So yeah, pretty similar to a communicator because you have, and it's Verizon, I guess, exclusive. So yeah, you have the regular LG stuff here, and then open it up and it's like a Nokia communicator where you have like a full QWERTY keyboard. So that's essentially it. It's a LG Nokia communicator clone. Nokia E7. So this is what I was talking about with the FX Tech. This is where basically that keyboard came from. Is you have the screen just kind of slides over and you revealing the keyboard. That's from the Nokia E7. This ran a version of Symbian called Symbian 3. And this was actually a very different design from other Symbians. So I think this was like a new operating system. And yeah, this was okay keyboard, I guess. But I think it's just because of this operating system, the Symbian 3 operating system. That's why I got this one, because that's kind of a unique operating system. Before they went to Maemo, I think. Okay, T-Mobile Sidekick. This is the Sidekick 3 from 2006, I think. So sidekicks were used by a lot of young people for texting and stuff back then. They were really good for texting. They were like text messenger phones. You had a QWERTY keyboard, numpad right here. You had navigational buttons right here. This is kind of a scroll wheel thing. And yeah, the display was really cool too. So let me show the display. So normally this is what the phone would be like, right? And then you open up the display. You kind of unlatch the display like this. Right, and you ready, guys? It swivels up like that. Yeah. Yep, it just it's kind of like a swiveling display. So, whoops. Yeah, so it's kind of like a swiveling display, right? It's just really cool. So, anyways, many people who use T-Mobile Sidekicks have good memories using them back in the day. So, here's a little nostalgic blast. 2006 Sidekick 3. Oh, the Sony Xperia Play. So this is the PlayStation phone from 2011. So pretty similar to the PSP Go, actually, except it's a phone in addition to being like a gaming handheld. So you can put a lot of emulators on this thing. You can hack it just like with the PSP to run emulators, and it's got okay controls, I guess. Not quite as good as PSP, but it's got okay controls, and these buttons down here, which I'm not sure. These are like kind of analog stick substitutes. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's a slider. So you still got your Android phone functions here. I think it ran Android, was it Android 2 back then or Android 3? No, I think it's Android 2. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's a PlayStation phone. So you can play a lot of games. Even today, you can run a lot of emulator games on this thing, and I think it will run fine. Like for Super Nintendo or Game Boy Advance, it should be no problem to run it on the Xperia Play. So pretty cool device. Very unique because Sony only made this one. They didn't make any successor. This is the Microsoft Kin 2 from 2010, I think. It's another messenger device. It's a failure, considered widely considered to be a failure because, well, I mean, who remembers this, right? Who remembers Microsoft made this kind of thing? This was a phone that was also a messenger device. I think it was a phone, actually. Yeah, it's a phone, right? It ran its own operating system, mainly targeted towards teenagers for texting and stuff, kind of like the Sidekick. But yeah, it didn't really take off, and Microsoft really failed with it. And I think they discontinued it within a few months or something. Anyways, it's just kind of a historical curiosity. So that's why I have it, just for a collection thing. It's like with the Amazon Fire phone, right? If something fails, I still want to collect it just for the historical curiosity of having it. This is the Nokia Communicator E90, I think. Yeah, so Communicator, a long-running line of Nokia phones where you have the standard Nokia candy bar type of shape here, but then you open it up and bam, you got an inner display and a full QWERTY keyboard inside of here, and yeah, it's really cool. And they run Symbian, of course. So anyways, that's the gimmick. That's why it's special. You got a candy bar phone, and then you get the full QWERTY keyboard once you open it up. It's like a clamshell phone. So pretty cool. I think it's from 2007, I think. 2006, 2007. Okay, Motorola Flip Out. This is from 2010 or 2010, 2011. Yeah, I mean, you guys see what's so special about it, right? First of all, it's a tiny phone. It's a phone, guys. Like, look how small it is, like a square. So, yeah, first of all, the form factor is unique, and then second of all, bam, there's a QWERTY keyboard on it. So, yeah, it's a super small phone that's also a QWERTY keyboard, built-in, I mean, physical keyboard, right? And I think it ran Android 2.3 or something like that. But yeah, Motorola Flip Out from 2010 or 2011. Just a really cool looking device. Very, very like interesting devices, right? Is what I have. I like to collect interesting devices. This is the Palm phone from 2018. This is a reboot of the Palm. Actually, it's nothing like the other Palm phones. This is just like a very light use phone, I think. Kind of like a jelly phone. It's meant for light use. It doesn't really do much. It's really, really small. So it's really nothing like the other Palm devices. It's not. I think they only took the name. Yeah, they have the name on it, but it's really nothing like the other Palm phones, like the Palm Trios or something, or the Palm Pres. It's nothing like that. It's just a very small, limited functionality phone that's really meant to be like a secondary phone, I guess. But anyways, it's cool that they have it. It's the very last phone with the Palm name, I should say, 2018. The Playdate. This is designed by Teenage Engineering, but this is a startup company. It's its own dedicated game console because it has its own dedicated exclusive games. You get it for free, actually. You can buy games on it, of course, but you can also download them for free. Like you subscribe to like a few seasons worth of games, and so I got a bunch of games for free when I have this thing. Came out last year, 2023. And yeah, what's unique about it is it's got the Game Boy form factor, but it also has this crank thing on the side. So if I open up the crank, yeah, you can move the crank, and this will interact with a few different games in special ways and stuff. But it's just cool to have this little, controller here, this crank controller. That's really unique to the Playdate. So, anyways, it's all in black and white, so it's not like it's not like a high spec handheld or anything. Very limited amount of power, but hey, it's really cool, really unique, and it is a dedicated gaming console because it has its own games, so it's pretty cool. Next, I have the Miu Mini Plus that I got this year. So this is a competitor to Ambernic. So I have a whole bunch of retro gaming handhelds, as you guys can see. Both of the Ambernic systems, the Razer Edge, the NVIDIA Shield, and also this. Yeah, I have this, I guess kind of like, I got this one first. So I got this one first before the Ambernic, and then I decided to check out the Ambernic devices later. But yeah, it's still pretty cool. It's obviously like Game Boy inspired. It doesn't have the analog stick of the Ambernic RG XX40, so it doesn't have that. But it is a bit smaller, more portable, and the display's pretty good. The colors actually really pop out on the display, so that's pretty good. So anyways, pretty recent handheld, Miu Mini Plus. This is the Samsung Alias 2, I think from 2009. What's cool about this one is first it's a flip phone, but oh, you guys saw the special part of it. Actually, it's a flip phone, but also you can flip it up this way, and this is an e-ink keyboard. So this keyboard can actually change depending on what application you're using. So if you're using the phone, this will show the numpad like this. But if you're using if you're on the web, then it'll have a QWERTY keyboard. So it's an e-ink display that can dynamically shift depending on what application you're using. And of course, if you're using it as a web browser, you will use it like this. But if you're using it as a phone, then that's when you can kind of flip it up like this. So anyways, pretty cool handheld from Samsung back in the day. It's yeah, it has a secondary display there too. So pretty cool phone with unique e-ink technology keyboard. This is the HP Pre 3 from 2011. It is the very last pre-device released. So Palm, after they released the Trio, the next series of phones are called the Palm Pre-phones. And they had two of them, and then HP bought Palm and WebOS basically, and yeah, and now this one's branded the HP Pre 3. So it's pretty much the last pre-phone. I know there's this Palm phone, but this is not really a Palm phone. I consider this to be technically the last Palm phone. It runs WebOS, which is a pretty influential operating system that you'll see influence Android and iOS a lot. But yeah, this is it's an okay QWERTY keyboard, not quite as good as BlackBerry, but anyways, this is the last Palm pre-device. Also the only device I have that runs WebOS, so that's why I have it. The Creative Zen Vision M from 2006. Yeah, so this was from 2000. Oh yeah, Palm Pre 3 was from 2011. I said that right. Yeah, Creative Zen Vision M from 2006. This was my main MP3 player from back when I was going to university. So it's kind of like a nostalgic thing for me to have it. I didn't really use an iPod, so I was one of the few that didn't use iPods back in the day. I used a Creative Zen instead, and yeah, it was pretty good. I have fond memories using it. 30 gigabyte hard drive. I could put music and videos on it. Display is like a full color display, so it's competing with the iPod video or the iPod mini, you know. Pretty thick by today's standards, but hey, it had a rotating hard drive, that's why. Proprietary docking connector, but that was how it is back in the day. And this navigational touch grip, which is not the same as the iPod scroll wheel, but it does a similar thing, right? It goes up and down, and you go left and right. Previous and next. Yeah, overall, I did like the interface, and this is just a nostalgic thing for me because I used this a lot back in university for listening to music. So yeah, I didn't have an iPod Touch, but I did have a Creative Zen Vision M. And Creative, by the way, they're still in business. I mean, they still make Sound Blaster stuff. They're a really good value company. The Wiki Reader, I think this is from 2010. So this is a dedicated device for reading Wikipedia pages offline. So what you would do is there's like an SD card slot here where you would load it with Wikipedia pages, and then you would load it into the Wiki Reader, and then you could just search on the Wiki Reader for the wiki page. So, and this can be done without access to the internet. So basically, the reason why they made this device is to have access to Wikipedia offline. So I thought that was a cool idea since I read Wikipedia a lot. So yeah, I have this Wiki Reader device. So anyways, as of the latest update, I think was 2018. So I haven't been updating it for a while, but still, it's cool to have a device like this, right? That reads offline Wikipedia pages. All right, this is the T-Mobile G1 or the HTC Dream. So this was the very first Android phone that came out publicly, running Android 1.5, I believe. And yeah, that's really what it's known for. It has a pretty cool slide out keyboard, because the entire thing doesn't slide out like in most slide out devices. It's just the display. So anyways, pretty interesting. Slide out QWERTY keyboard is done that way. That's unique. And of course you have your standard phone buttons right here, Android buttons, and kind of like a cursor wheel right here to navigate. But anyways, yeah, the T-Mobile G1, and it's actually branded Google here. Yeah, because at the time, this was the first Android phone to come out, so there wasn't any Android phone to connect to compare to. So, anyways, for historical reason, I think this is good to have in the collection, just as the very first Android phone, the T-Mobile G1 from 2008. Okay, the Nep2 Pine from 2014. Just like with the Motorola Flip Out, it's very, very small. It's tiny. Yeah, this is like, I think was a Kickstarter project. But anyways, I got this. It's very, very rare. I never really hear anyone else talk about it. Yeah, and it's yeah, it's very interesting, unique. Like you don't really see many other phones with this size, right? And yeah, the fact is that Neptune, I don't know if they made many other devices, but they're a small startup company. And this was originally meant to be a watch. So it came with like a watch strap that you can strap it onto your wrist. So originally it was meant to be a phone on your wrist, you know, during the age before like smartwatches and everything. So anyways, really cool, unique device. It is a fully featured phone because it runs Android 4.4, ice cream sandwich, I think, or Kit Kat or something like that. But yeah, very unique phone, even has a camera there. So anyways, you can even put a SIM card, right? Yeah, there's a SIM card slot somewhere here. So yeah, it's probably the smallest phone that I have in this collection. I think, yeah, it is. I think it's a bit smaller than the Motorola Flip Out. So yeah, the smallest phone I have in this collection. So this is the iPod Nano, 5th generation, I believe. It's the only iPod in my collection. The reason is because this is a very small, tiny, portable iPod. Like, sure, it's the iPod Nano. They're all really small, but this one, what's special about it is that this is the last generation with a click wheel. So this click wheel here is of course iconic for iPod design, but this is the last generation of the iPod Nano with the click wheel. Also, this has video recording. That's something actually done to compete with the pocket video camcorders like the Flip Video and stuff back then. So anyways, really cool device. It's always good to have an iPod in my collection. And I think the 5th generation is good. This is the last version with the click wheel, and it's got video recording. And yeah, of course, it's got the 30-pin connector. So overall, pretty good for the collection, I think. Okay, the Sony Ericsson W995. This is a Walkman player. So it's branded with Walkman here. Yeah, this is a part of Sony's Walkman line of phones where it's kind of music focused. But this one also kind of has CyberShot capabilities as well. It's got 8-megapixel camera. And yeah, that's actually one of the best cameras, I think, of the time. So it's both CyberShot branded and Walkman branded. So it's got good camera, and it's got the music capabilities. So it's, I think overall, yeah, this is probably one of the best Sony Ericsson phones back in that time. So you got navigation here and standard controls, and of course you got the numpad. But you also get the shutter button as well, which you'll see on modern Sony phones. And you also have the media player buttons for the Walkman side. So overall, great phone. Good for taking pictures and good for listening to music back then. I really wish I had this back in the day, actually. This would have been one of my picks for, I think it was released in 2008. So somewhere around that time. Yeah, so this was 2009, by the way, the 5th generation iPod. Oh, this is pretty cool. So this is the Motorola Sidekick Slide. So this is part of the Sidekick series. So we saw the Sidekick 3. This Sidekick Slide, instead of the swivel display, we have a slide-up display now. And it's made by Motorola, whereas the other phones, I think, were made by Sharp. But yeah, QWERTY keyboard here, really meant for texting. A lot of young people, of course, used Sidekicks back then for texting. But yeah, the main difference is that the Sidekick Slide has a slide-up display instead of a swivel display. I like the swivel display better. It's a lot more unique. But anyways, this one has a sliding display. Oh my god, this is pretty bad. Yeah, some of the chemicals that they used back then, oh my god, do not age well. But yeah, you got the cursor, navigation. You still got the little roller track point nub for navigation as well. Anyways, it's a Sidekick, except that it has a slide-up display. Okay, I think these are the last two I didn't talk about, right? Both of these run pretty unique operating systems. So this is the ZTE OpenC from 2014. It runs Firefox OS. So yeah, believe it or not, Firefox actually had an operating system. And yeah, you can see there, Firefox OS. So that's the reason I have it, is it runs Firefox OS, a pretty unique operating system that not many people remember now. But yeah, back then people actually, like, there were phones that ran Firefox OS. It just wasn't an operating system that got very popular. But anyways, the ZTE OpenC runs it, and ZTE is a Chinese company, by the way. But yeah, they one of the few phones I found that run Firefox OS. So 2014, also from 2014, is the Samsung Z1. This ran Tizen OS, which is an operating system that wasn't really Samsung, but Samsung really supported it, and they used it in a lot of their smaller devices back then. Like, they even used it in their Galaxy watches up until recently. They used Tizen OS. So anyway, since the operating system they really supported back then, and it's unique because you don't really see it much in other phones. So anyway, Samsung Z1 running Tizen OS, also from 2014. Just a unique operating system. So I have these two just for the unique operating systems, Firefox OS and Tizen OS, both from 2014. So that's it, guys. That's quite a bit of devices that I went through. I mean, wow, just look at this, right? This is crazy and insane, the amount of devices I have. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of my collection. If you have any questions, comments about any of my devices, then let me know. But yeah, there's, like, I just went over well over 100 devices here and talked a little bit about each one. So yeah, let me know what comments you guys have. But so far, these are all my electronic devices, all my phones, tablets, media players, laptops, UMPCs, netbooks, gaming handhelds. Pretty much all my electronic devices that have a battery and are powered by some kind of operating system are here. Right, guys, so yeah, that's my complete collection here. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments. So yeah, don't even ask me how much money I spent on all this, because it's pretty insane, actually. Like, I think well over 100 devices, and some of them are super rare. I think if you ask me to pick which ones are the rarest, probably the Onkyo DX, this the dual screen netbook. That's a pretty rare one. The Porsche design, I mean, you can find it sometimes, but it's definitely getting more rare. But the book one, that's a fairly rare one. The King Jim Portabook. This one, I'm not sure how easy this was to find. Japan only, anyways. The Fujitsu UH900. Yeah, that's a pretty rare one too. Let's see. Samsung Q1 might be pretty hard to find nowadays. Used to be more common. I know the 007 edition of the UX. So the UX, Sony Vaio UX, is not that hard to find, but the 007 edition that I have, this is I'm number 481 out of 500, so only 500 were ever made of this 007 edition. That one's pretty hard to find. The Toshiba Libretto, the W100 dual screen, this is a pretty hard one to find. Vulcan Flip Start, another very hard one to find. Another very rare one. Open Pandora, again, this one's also pretty rare. Yep, these three are all really rare for UMPCs. And then for some of the phones, yeah, probably the BlackBerry. I think the BlackBerry Porsche design, there might be a limited number of these made too. I think in general the phones, yeah, I mean the phones could be rare too. I mean, I don't have too many rare phones actually, because I think you can still find most of the phones I got. Maybe some of these ones, like the iMac Jazz Jar or the Toshiba G610 Protege, might be harder to find. But for the most part, I think, yeah, most of my rare stuff is actually my laptops and stuff. So, anyways, the phone stuff is like, yeah, you can find them like in various places, I think. But I guess if you want to consider like rarity in terms of like getting it, the Astro Slide that I had by Planet Computers, I think that's rare because not all Kickstarter backers got that. And same thing with the FX Tech Pro 1X. I think I got mine, but there's a lot of backers still waiting for theirs. So that could be considered rare, I guess. But yeah, otherwise, I think those are my rarest ones. Yep. Otherwise, in the Panasonic, of course, this is a Japan-only one. So you can't even find it in North America either. Yeah, that's really it. Yeah. Onkyo DX with this dual screen design. Man, never seen anything else like it. Now the Porsche design, yeah, flips like 180 degrees like this. So it turns into like a tablet. So I couldn't show that normally, but I'm going to show that now. So you can do that. And you can also detach the tablet portion, which, yeah, I don't think I had to actually charge it in order to use that feature. But yeah, this top tablet portion can actually detach from the rest of the laptop. That's pretty cool and unique. And I guess the HTC Advantage 7500, this is a pretty unique one too. I think this might be actually pretty rare. Oh yeah, the Sharp Netwalker. I forgot to talk about this one. This one is pretty rare too, I think. This is Japan only. Managed to somehow find this on eBay back in the day, but I don't know. It's got to be pretty hard to find now. So yeah, that's it. That's probably my rarest devices. I guess the Okio Model 2 might be kind of hard to find as well. I mean, I've seen it sometimes online, but yeah, definitely I think the Vio UX I would be able to find easier than the Okio Model 2. And then the Okio Model 2 would be still easier to find than these three. The Pandora, the Flipstar, and the Libretto are just really, really hard to find. So those three are just really rare. And the same thing with the Fujitsu UH900. I think that's super rare. Obviously, the Onkyo DX might be the rarest of them all. Yeah, I would say the 5 rarest I have on here is probably Onkyo DX, Fujitsu UH900, Libretto W700, Flipstart, and the Open Pandora. I think those are probably the 5 rarest devices I have on here. Although I would say that the KingGem Portabook and yeah, this one and the Sharp Netwalker, these are pretty rare as well. So these are pretty close to my top 5 as well of my rarest devices. Yeah, these two are also pretty rare. These two are Japan only, and even then it's hard to find in Japan, I think. So those two are pretty rare. So yeah, how much money did I spend on this collection? Don't even ask. I mean, I'm gonna say well over $10,000. Like, yeah, well over $10,000 probably. Like way too much. And honestly, I think it's a little bit much. Like, yeah, I'm actually trying to decrease the size of my collection. So probably in the future, I'm not sure how many more of these videos I'm gonna make, but this is probably gonna be one of my last ones because I'm gonna try to reduce my collection. This is just way too much. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this collection. Which ones did you guys like the most? Which ones you guys found the most interesting out of this this group of devices? Let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, again, for me, I just like to collect really cool, unique devices, like for phones, laptops, and yeah, these other electronics. Yeah, for me as an engineer, I just love to see really unique designs. And yeah, for me, especially if it's something that other people like are not aware of, they never used before. Yeah, I find that yeah, those are probably the most unique to me. It was like the ones like the Microsoft Kin 2, how many people know that exists, right? Or the Firefox phone, how many people know that exists? So anyways, just unique stuff like that. So anyways, yeah, which ones in this collection did you guys like the most or want to know more about? Let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, stay tuned if you like these kind of videos. I might be doing some more reviews in the future, but I'm not sure how many more. Yeah, anyways, let me know which ones you guys like the most, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I know it's a longer video than I initially anticipated, but there was a lot of devices to go through, right? So anyways, that's it guys. Thanks for watching. As always, see you guys next time.